and a blessed Sunday to everyone. It's nice to be back here after being away for more than a month for a special mission in Italy. It's kumakawaw. Akala. It's a special mission in Italy for our general chapter. We elected our new government officials in our congregation, and we planned, for the next 6 years, for our community. So before I left for Rome, I made it sure that I have a two-way ticket. Makakabalik pa ako ng Pilipinas to be with you, feasters. Thank you. Thank you for your welcome. In our gospel reading today, we have heard one of the most well-loved and well-known stories of our Lord Jesus Christ, the parable of the Good Samaritan. And we can relate so much with this story. There is the Good Samaritan in all of us. There is that Good Samaritan around us. In one way or another, we are a Good Samaritan to our neighbor, and we have been recipients of the kindness, the charity of the Good Samaritan around us. The story illustrates that love for God and love for neighbor, that's the ultimate criterion for holiness. Sino nga ba ang isang taong banal? Ang isang taong banal, according to our gospel, loves God, loves neighbor as he loves himself. Of course, such love begins with oneself. We cannot give what we don't have. Love of God and love of neighbor, they are inseparable. Yung pagmamahal natin sa Diyos na hindi natin nakikita, namamalas yun sa ating pagmamahal at paglilingkod sa ating kapwa na ating nakakasalamuha araw-araw. The vertical and the horizontal aspect of our faith, love of God, love of neighbor, and it should be concrete. It should be inclusive, unconditional. But of course, it's a thought from our Lord. Sometimes we see the commandments of God as something imposed on us from outside. But our first reading tells us that this law of love for God and neighbor is something within us, is something inscribed by God Himself in our hearts. So we have that natural inclination to be a good Samaritan to our fellow, to our neighbor, because it is something planted by God Himself in our hearts. Of course, talaga namang mahirap maging good Samaritan. Most especially nowadays. Diba? And we have our Lord Jesus in the second reading, who is the true good Samaritan, who will truly sustain this desire to grow in charity and service to one another. It's good to ask ourselves, my dear feasters, kanino nakarelate sa mga characters ng story? There are 3 to 4 characters of the story. Number 1, a traveler, a Jewish traveler. Number 2, a Jewish priest and Levite. Number 3, a Samaritan. Who are we? Those 4 characters. Or perhaps the 4 characters of the story are present in all of us. Number one, the Jewish traveler. It is said that life is a journey. Life is a pilgrimage. Many lessons to learn, problems to solve, surprises to behold. Life is a journey. Sometimes our journey is easygoing. Sometimes a lot of twists and turns. Sometimes a lot of surprises. Yung buhay natin dito sa lupa, it's messy. But again, it's also laden with wonders and miracles. But the traveler in the gospel reading today was robbed, was beaten, was left half dead. It only means that we live in a violent world. We live in a wounded world. We live in a wounded world. Kaano man natin protektahan ang ating sarili, masusugatan at masusugatan tayo. And then we ask, why is that traveler on such road? You know, the road from Jerusalem to Jericho during that time, it was Jerusalem. Nobody would risk to travel. And if you would travel that road, you should have a company. You would travel with a caravan. Eh bakit andoon siya? Perhaps that traveler is a hard-working merchant, businessman. Or on the other hand, he is also a foolhardy character. Sabi nga ng mga commentators, kung meron man dapat sisihin sa nangyari sa kanya, eh siya rin mismo. Kasi bakit andoon siya? At yun yung route na kanyang dinaanan. There are times in our life that kung sino tayo ngayon, it's really a consequence of our decisions. One of the qualities of a mature person